Hey guys, Coach Gans here. Well, I wanted to talk to you today about a subject that we just get so many emails about, and that is how to pick the right size glove for your player. So I want to start off by kind of telling you some bad news, and that is that one size doesn't fit all when it comes to choosing a baseball glove. So if your player is going to be playing both infield and outfield, to help ensure some success along the way, you probably are going to have to invest in a couple different size gloves. So I want to start off by talking about infielders in particular. Infielders need as small of a glove as possible. I want to repeat that because this is the one message that I really want you to take from this video. Infielders need to play with as small of glove as possible. Now, you guys are probably familiar with some training devices that are out there that are just flat gloves with no webbing to them, no pocket. Some are made of leather, some are just a training pad. They're made of foam, like a soft hands trainer. They're pads with some elastic straps you stick your fingers through. And it's basically a flat foam pad that you learn to field ground balls with. Those are great training devices, and if you don't have one, I really encourage you to go get one. A great transition from fielding ground balls with those pads is to get them into a very small fielder's glove. Once you get your infielders training and being able to field ground balls successfully without a glove, or at least a device with a pocket, obviously when you go to a small infielder's glove with a pocket, they're going to feel that that's a substantial upgrade. So the whole purpose of a small glove is so that when you field balls, they stay in the palm of your hand. You can transition and get that ball into your throwing hand as quick as possible. You don't want ground balls getting lost in the webbing of a glove. So a big floppy glove is going to make it very difficult for you to establish quick hands and get a quick release after fielding a ground ball. So again, you want as small of a glove as possible. Outfielders obviously need to track fly balls, catch balls on the fly. Getting that ball out as quick as possible isn't quite as essential to an outfielder, so to give them the advantage of tracking down ground balls, naturally they go to a little bit larger glove. So let's get to some sizes. I'll give you two of my three boys kind of on different ends of the spectrum. My youngest son prefers a little bit larger glove for infielding standards. This is his glove, a collegiate glove. This is an 11-inch glove. So it's still fairly small. You can even see the size of my palm of my hand is still showing when I have my hand in there. It's still considered a fairly small glove, but it's an 11-inch. My oldest son would never wear a glove this size. His glove that he wore throughout college is I believe a 10.25-inch glove that was his favorite size. But he would never wear larger than a 10.5-inch glove. So both my sons, I will tell you, really preferred a very stiff glove. The reason why I got this as a hand-me-down is because it started to get a little worn in and a little what he calls floppy, and he gets rid of his glove. So he really prefers gloves that are really on the brand new side, because he doesn't want the glove to even actually close. He just wants the glove very stiff and open so that he can immediately put his top hand on and get rid of the baseball. So that's not for everybody. I know many, A-ball players right now that have very loose floppy gloves, and I know A-ball players that are playing professional baseball right now, like my son, that as soon as that glove gets a little bit of flex to it, it's out the window and a new glove comes in. So you're going to have to find out what works for you. But I will just tell you that the softer and the floppier your glove becomes, the more it is going to be a little bit difficult to transition and get that ball out into your throwing hand as quick as possible. So I am, from my personal standpoint, I kind of agree with my younger son that he really likes his gloves completely stiff, very little flex to them. It forces him to use that top hand and really gets him quick releases. So again, that's going to have to be something that you develop on your own, your personal likes and dislikes. But in the way of size, you're going to find that all high-end players, whether they're varsity high school players, collegiate, professional players, when they play infield, they all use fairly small gloves. So again, when it comes to infielding, the smaller the better. So again, before we take off, I just wanted to encourage you, for your young players that are possibly 4, 5, 6 years old, please invest in a good quality leather mitt. It doesn't have to be a very expensive mitt. There are so many new space-age materials out there that are like a synthetic leather that you can buy very inexpensively, but still really have that texture and the feel of a leather glove. I confiscate so many gloves from my parents when they come in for instruction, especially with my very young players, that they come in with these plasticky gloves that almost look like they were purchased at Toys R Us, and that's not going to cut it for a player that's really in here, seriously learning, quality baseball instruction, has to use his hands, trying to develop those skills for the upper levels, and he's playing with basically a toy glove. That's not going to help very much. So again, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Just take the little extra time to go out to a place that has a pretty big selection of gloves, and make sure you get him a very, just a quality-oriented glove that's got a real good texture and feel of a leather glove. It'll make a big difference. Until next time.